Okay, everybody, for those of you who don't know, my name is Michael Forrest, and welcome to It's Quest Time. Before we get going, I'm going to ask if all of you can stay off of this raised up stage area here. This way nobody blocks this big display behind me, and gives me a little bit of room to move around, do the whole hosting thing, all right? Also, if I can direct your attention to your menu wheel, you're going to notice at the very top of that menu wheel is an icon. Now, when a microphone icon, actually, and when that microphone icon is clear, right, you're going to notice that, let me see here, it looks kind of like this right here. Right there. And when that's clear, we can hear everything that's happening in your environment. So I've gone ahead and I've turned that to red. And this means if somebody comes into your space and says, hey, are you still on that thing? Feel free to answer them because we're not going to hear any of that. Likewise, if maybe you've got like a barking dog in the background, you're not going to face social ruin back at the campfire by becoming known as the avatar that suddenly started barking during its quest time, right? Now, just because you're muted doesn't mean you can't participate or express yourself. You can press this pink cheek smiley face in your emoji wheel. Not easy to say, but easy to press, right? And when you press it, a wide variety of options to express yourself appears right in front of you on your emoji panel. Now, if I share something really deep, something really powerful and meaningful, and you're starting to feel it building up inside you, you can just let it out and just let it flow, just like that, show a little love, right? And maybe I got some backup dancers backstage, and they come out and we break into It's Quest Time the musical, and you're all really impressed. You can throw up your paws, I live for like that. And I can take a moment to drink it in because it feels good, except you guys aren't doing it. But that's cool. I won't drink it in. Let's see. You can also do the smiley face to say yes. You can do the frowny face here to say no. Maybe I say something funny and you feel like showing me you're laughing. You can throw up the silly face emoji here like this. And then there's this. You're going to see this happen a lot. And this is not how you raise a hand, right? This is how you alert me that there's a problem. So like if, for example, I'm waving my hands around here and it looks like I'm talking and you're like, he looks like he's talking, but there's no sound coming out. Right? That's the kind of thing you're going to want to raise a hand up for, right? Or maybe this display behind me is burst into flames suddenly, right? That can be a real problem. Like, sometimes our mods get a little carried away with the special effects, and you kind of want to let me know that. See that hand popping right there? Again, it's to get my attention if something's wrong. Okay, so if it's a question or a comment, we'll be taking that at the end. All right, cool. All right, so there's also an X in the middle of this panel that'll close your emoji panel. But it's a good idea to run an event like this to keep it open. It lets give me some feedback, lets me know how I'm doing, but more importantly, it lets the people around you know what you're experiencing. So if somebody next to you starts going like this, that means that they found something funny, and you may not agree with them. You might be like, that's not funny at all. I'm going to go stand over here. And you can do that. This is VR, right? Right now, this event is for Oculus Quest users, but all are welcome. So if you're on another device, feel free to hang out. You pick up some information that's helping a growing Quest community, because there's a lot of Quest users coming in each and every day and getting more and more all the time. And, while you still got those panels up, and let me ask you guys some questions, all right? Let me see some smiley faces if you're on the Quest right now, or maybe some hearts. Show some love for the Quest if you're on the Quest. Anybody on the Quest today? Let's see this. A few people. Okay, that's pretty much everybody. All right, cool. All right, wow. All right, awesome. How many of you are new to the Quest? Like you're just starting out on the Quest? And so smiley faces if you just recently got your Quest. Any new Quest users? Okay, we got a couple. All right, cool. How many of you are new to Altspace? You just started out, on your Altspace journey. Any new Altspace users? All right, well, welcome to Altspace. All right, cool. That's a few of you. That's awesome. All right. So, when I first got my Quest, I was waiting for it to arrive. I was really looking forward to getting that second hand. Before that, I was on an Oculus Go, and as you may know, the Oculus Go has a one-handed controller. And I grew up in Brooklyn, so I'm used to expressing myself and talking with my hands a lot. But on an Oculus Go, I was talking to everybody in Altspace, and all anybody would see is that one hand moving like this. And I didn't feel like I was expressing myself as fully as I could, so I couldn't wait to get that other hand, right? And so I'm waiting for that thing to arrive. And when it finally did, I took a good look at the controls, right? And, those are a lot of buttons. They really are. It's a lot to take in if you're just starting out. And I like to go over this stuff. I mean, listen, I know you have a handle on the basics or you wouldn't be here today. That left thumbstick's going to move you around like this. The right thumbstick's going to turn you in these circles. And when you combine them, you can get these big, elaborate circles that make my presentation so much more dramatic, right? Can everybody do this? Can everybody go in these circles here like that? Because when I look out in the audience, it looks like you guys are ballroom dancing. Let me see what that looks like. All right, cool. All right. We don't have a big crowd today, but that still looks like ballroom dance. Awesome. I always say at this point, I wish you guys could see what I see up here when you see everybody moving around like that. And now you can. All right, because a couple of months ago, we got a YouTube channel. If you'll notice, there's Raven that's floating up there in the air. If you turn around, you want to wave, you can wave on out to YouTube. Be like, hey, YouTube, how's it going? Come on in to Altspace. We've got a lot of cool people here. We got Rue in the green here. We got Adluna in that cool color. I don't know how to describe that. I think there's green in it. You know, we got, let's see, we got Buddy over here in the nice blue shirt over here. It's actually kind of more like a navy, I guess. My colors aren't doing great today. We got Kayla in the pink over here. We got, who is this? We got Yee in the white puffer jacket over here. So just, come on in Altspace and hang out with us. A lot of fun in here. All right, but yeah, so that's our YouTube channel there. Now, like, if you already have a handle on the controls, don't worry. We do some movement stuff that makes this fun while we, get everybody else to, skill up. The first button we're going to talk about is on your right and left control. You've got this grip button here on the side that you normally squeeze with your third finger, right? Now, this is how you're going to interact with your environment. This is how you're going to grab basketballs. This is how you're going to grab those fireworks. And if you're in the world's building beta program, which is not easy to say, but it's easy to sign up for through your settings menu. Once you sign up with that, when you grab an object in the world editor, right, you're going to find that this changes the behavior of your right thumbstick. So like, let's say I'm grabbing an item in the world builder, right? And I go to turn to the right by moving my right thumbstick to the side like that. What's going to happen is the item's going to get bigger and you're going to be like, what's going on? It's important to keep in mind that when you're holding an object in the world editor, if you move your right thumbstick, if you move it right or left, it's going to change the size or the scale of the object. If you move it up or down, it's going to push the object away from you, or it's going to move it closer to you, right? Okay, now another thing you're going to keep in mind about is this left button here. This isn't just move you around, right? When I first came into Altspace on my Quest, what happened was I went to the campfire to test it out, and I noticed when I came out of the load screen that everybody, all the avatars were like, they were a little bit beneath me. And I figured, I'm walking on air here, I'm feeling pretty good, and I'm wondering what's going on? When did the avatars at Altspace get so short? And then I looked down and I realized I was floating about this high off the ground, right? And it turns out that when you're on a quest, you got to, pay attention to your vertical height. If somebody's willing to change your vertical height for me, maybe stand up a little bit or, scooch down. I see, let's see, we got Someone Desserts doing it over here. I don't know if he's meaning to, he's kind of lagging there a little bit. But if Someone Desserts, if you press down your left thumbstick, come up so you can see on camera here, right? Come up over the stage like that. All right, go. You see how high up he got? Right, now let's say he's not feeling good about that, right? We'll show everybody what happens if you press down your left thumbstick. Boom, just like that. So if you find you're feeling too tall and you're feeling too short, just press down that left thumbstick and it's going to recenter you. Like now he's in the ground, all right? And then boom, it just pops right out. All you do is press that down on that left thumbstick and it'll make sure that your height is where you want it to be, all right? To make you feel a lot more comfortable. All right, now let's see. You also now, don't worry, because while these are a lot of buttons, some of these buttons do the same thing. You're going to find that this select button here on your right controller and this right trigger button, and if you have your left pointer enabled, this left select button, they all do the same thing. So if you hold down your right trigger button and you move it through the crowd today, you're going to notice this is how I know everybody's names quickly. That's how I know that's Adluna. That's how I know that this is Buddy here, and we got Banap right there, and we got Kayla right there. And it's just how you can see everybody's name tag really quickly. And you don't have to just hold down that button and sweep it through the crowd, and then you lock onto a particular name, and that's how you'll be able to tell everybody's name so quickly, right? All right, now also you have, now listen, if you're having a room scale experience, if you're playing, if you're in VR and you're standing up and you're moving around in your play space, you're going to find that occasionally you walk out past your main menu. And for some reason, that's always the time somebody says, open your main menu, and you're like, where is this thing? And you're looking around for it, and it's like always behind you, right? Now, that can be annoying. Now, it turns out that you have your main menu in your hand at all times, some handy information, right? On your left controller, you're going to find that there is a flat button down toward the bottom. And when you press on that, your main menu is going to open up. Me, I like to do like a little hand flick when I do it. I kind of, go like that, and my menu's open. And then I go like that again, and my menu's closed, right? You don't need to do that, but all you have to do is just press down on that flat button, and your main menu will open it. And this way, you don't have to, if you leave your main menu behind you, that button, that menu wheel there, you don't have to spend all your time looking for it. Another added bonus is when you press down on that menu button and you open and close it, it's going to reposition your menu wheel. So it'll be in front of you again. So it's a great way to get that back, or it's a great way just to get into your menu really quickly if you've walked out beyond it instead of looking around for where it may have gone to. All right, now another button you have to be concerned about is your left trigger button, right? This left trigger button, this is cool because if you're walking around in Altspace or you're flying around, when you hold down that left trigger button, you're going to go faster, right? And it can run down into the audience, right? And we can start making a giant circle, everybody. Let's go. Let's make a tornado in here. Let's make a hurricane. Let's make it rain. All right, let's see. Can everybody do that? Let's see. Oh, wow, looks like you guys got good formation today. All right, let's go around. Now, if you guys are getting dizzy, don't do this thing. I don't want anyone getting sick. I'd be like, I'm Michael Forrest. He makes me sick. All right, let me see how you guys are doing. Let's see. Oh, wow. All right, this might be one of the best groups I've ever had. That's like really circular, really good. Last week it was like figure eight. All right, it's starting to break up a little bit. I bet you guys are getting dizzy. Should probably stop, huh? If you're not feeling good? Yeah, all right, cool. All right, now another button you gotta be worried about. Let's talk about this one here. On your right controller and your left controller, you've got this teleport button. That's that top raised up button there. And when you press on this and you aim at the ground, you're gonna see your teleport target appear. If everybody joins me up along this, right? And everybody come on over to here. Right when you get here, hold down on that teleport button. I'm hoping you're in a line dash teleport. It's a real fun transition. It feels like you're flinging yourself across the room. Now, if you aim at the floor with that teleport button on your right control, see your teleport target appear, and you can aim it across the room. And as soon as you let go, boom, you get thrown right across the room, right? Now you can hold down your left teleport button and aim at the floor, right, across the room. And as soon as you let go, boom, you get thrown right across the room, right? Everybody teleport on over to me here. Now, also, if you hold down both teleport buttons and aim at the floor, you can make kind of an X, and as soon as you let go, you zig. Oh, I just zigged on that one. Let's try that again. You zig and you zag, right? Kind of see that like that. You can do this whole zigzag motion like that, right? And also, if you're facing the stage here, if everybody like comes up along the stage here, and you start to back up and hold down on that left accelerator button, just makes it really cool. Aim your teleporter at the floor, and you go into the Altspace moonwalk, right? Everybody keeps going like back and forth like that. Give that a try. Also, and I learned this a couple weeks ago, I was hosting an event, right? And I'm standing off the stage because, I go into the audience a lot. And, I had everybody kind of surrounding me and I need to get back up on the stage for the next bit. And what I did was, and I didn't even think about what I was doing, right? I just on reflex, I put my hand over my head like this and boom, teleported backwards. Huh? Is that cool or what? Give the try. I just saw somebody do it. Buddy's got it. Buddy, you nailed it right there on the first try. That's awesome. So you can teleport backwards if you want to. Now, when I first figured this stuff out, I was at the Universe, right? And back then it was held in this really large world. And I went around exploring, and at the end, I walked up to the edge of the world. And what happened was I fell off. And as I'm falling, I look over, and there was a cliff off to the side. I aimed at it with my teleporter, and as soon as I let go of that teleport button, boom, I was thrown right on that cliff, right to safety, right? And you know what? I mean, it's not like you can get hurt in all space, but I saved myself from respawning. And in that moment, I knew I was finally getting used to the controls. It only takes a few days to a week if you're a new Quest user, but you will get used to it. There will come a moment, listen, you're always going to feel the plastic in your hands, but there's going to come a moment where these become your hands. Like if I tell everybody to go, and I go, hey, everybody, look out that window right there. I don't think about how I'm pointing. I just do it. Yeah, everybody's pointing now too, right? You don't think about how you're pointing. You just do it. It's a reflex. And if you're just starting out, you hold down your middle finger, you're going to notice that it turns your hands into like this pointing gesture. And this is good because you can give everybody a Brooklyn hello. Everybody give me a Brooklyn hello. Go like that. Like, how you doing? Give me one of those. All right, cool. Now, if you put these hands together, you can give me the Altspace logo and hold it up high. Show a little Altspace pride. Here we go. All right, that's awesome. Very cool. Now you can twist your hands around like this, make kind of a picture frame like that, right? And then if you squeeze your finger on the trigger, it makes like a shutter motion. I wish we could take screenshots like that. I'd be like, oh, audience, you're doing great. Snap, snap. You're doing great. Snap, snap. Oh, what a beautiful audience. Snap, snap. You do it like that. That would be kind of cool. Now, another thing you could do is if you hold down your trigger fingers, right, you're going to end up like giving me 2 thumbs up. Like maybe I'm doing a good job. Maybe I'm not. Maybe you'll be like, you know what? Not so good there, Michael Forrest, right? Or maybe you can give me a little bit of both, right? Maybe you haven't made up your mind. Or I saw somebody go like this once. I thought that was cool. During the first, and actually now, if you touch your thumbs to the buttons or the thumbsticks, without pushing down, just touch them, you're going to find that your thumbs go down, right? So you can get into a fight there. Buddy wants to fight. Yeah, buddy, you think you got what it takes? Let's go, buddy. Come on, right? Or you can go like this, if you're doing that, like you can combine it into like a dance move, right? You're going to find that there's all kinds of combinations for these hand gestures. During one of the first quest times, a few people came up to the stage because our event group is called Ravenhall Events, right? So we had about 3 or 4 people come up to the stage when the event started, and they started going like this. I'd never seen that before. I thought it was cool, right? And if you see somebody doing a gesture that you like, the best way to pick it up is by mirroring them or like copying them. And that's how you pick it up yourself. And after a while, you won't even think about how you're moving your hands around. When you point at something, you just do it, right? And it's going to become automatic after a while. So don't worry, you will pick it up. All right, now another button we need to be concerned about here is, let's see here. Yeah, let's say that somebody comes into your space and say, hey, dinner's ready or something important like that. The fastest way out of Altspace is don't press this now because if it disappears, I'm going to feel it. But if you press this flat button on your right controller, what's going to happen is that's going to open up your Oculus main menu, and there you're going to have a choice to quit or resume. That's kind of cool because if like maybe you're dancing around the Universe and you accidentally press this button, right? You can just hit resume and you'll be right back in Altspace like it never happened. No one's even going to notice you were gone. You're going to keep on dancing and be like, did anybody see that? All right, nobody noticed that? All right, cool. I'm going to keep on going. All right, cool. All right, nobody saw it? All right, no, all right, good. All right, so you can do that. That'll help a lot. But this is also a great button to push right? When things go wrong. So like, let's say that like I turn my head, right? And the whole world moves with me. When that happens, that can make you feel a little sick and you're going to want to be able to get out of here in a hurry. Or if maybe, you look up and there's a black void up there, and then you look to the left and there's a black void, to the right there's a black void, I look down, there's a black void, oh no, it's spreading, and all of a sudden I look out and all my friends are frozen in space like this and they're all being very dramatic, but they won't move. And I know something's gone seriously wrong, right? If something like that happens, you can press that flat button there and then just press quit and restart the app, and this is going to solve most of your problems. Sometimes, however, when you press that flat button, sometimes your device is frozen, all right, and you're going to need to restart it. And listen, it pays to know how to do this while it's still on your head. When I first got my Quest, I used to restart the device by taking it off my head, right? And it's not really a good idea to do that because, listen, if your device is like plugged in and it's not in a charge cycle and the light's not coming on and you're in a rush and you're pressing that button and it takes like 20-something seconds to restart it, you're going to feel like your device is broken. I know I did. So I got in the habit of restarting it while it's still in my head, and I think it's a good practice to do that. What you do is you take your index finger, right, and you swipe it up and down on the right side of your device, and you're going to feel that raised up power button. Right? Then what you do is you take your other index finger on your other hand, you hold it to the other side of the device, you squeeze your fingers together, and bonus if you look down like you're concentrating really deep, right? And after about 4 seconds or so, right, the device is going to shut off and you're going to get plunged into the darkness like you concentrated so hard that your avatar disappeared. And after about 10 seconds or so, you're going to start wondering, why did Oculus make it take so long to reset this thing? After about 15 seconds, you start thinking about, friends you haven't seen in a while, you wonder how they're doing. 20 seconds go by, you start thinking about, life. And then out of the darkness, the Oculus logo emerges like the bat signal, right? And you're like, okay, something's going on. And all of a sudden, the Oculus logo starts to pulse. And when it does, just take your fingers away like that, and you're going to find your device restarts normally. You restart the app, you come into Altspace, and everything should be okay. This is going to solve most of the problems that not only Altspace, but really any app, any problems you have in there, this is going to fix most of it. Occasionally, something more severe can happen. This is why I'm going to mention this next part. But this is important that you know that like this is like an emergency situation type thing only. Like there was one time I came out of Altspace and there was this message that said Oculus room is closing, right? And I'm like, oh no, what do I do? And there was a big blue button there that says okay, right? So I pressed okay because it was the only option, and then the screen just said loading, and it stayed like that for minutes, and I'm like, there's something wrong. So I did deep concentration pose. Right? And then the device restarted as normal, but it just kept saying we're loading. I knew something was seriously wrong. So I went and I asked Google about it, and Google and I go back and knows many things, and Google said that this is a problem that only a factory reset could cure, right? So I went on to that, I went on and did that factory reset thing. And listen, be aware if you need to do this, if you have any pictures on your device, you're gonna lose them. Right? If maybe that, all of your apps, you're going to have to re-download them. Good news is you won't have to repay for them, but this is going to put your headset back the way it was when you first got it. But it pays to know that that's an option. So if you have a problem with your headset that only a factory reset can solve, it's good to know that that's an option to you, right? Now listen, if you're here today, you're already familiar with the Guardian system, you've done the tour, you danced with the robot. I see your hand going up. We'll be taking them in just a minute, all right? But you've already danced the robot, you played with the blimp, that was fun, right? But it turns out there's ways you can use your Guardian system to your advantage when you're in Altspace. Right now, I mentioned earlier, getting dizzy, like when you move your head and the whole world moves with you. But if you're in VR, and especially if you're new to VR and you get that sense of being dizzy, take a good look at your hand, right? And just focus on it. And when you do that, you're going to find the dizziness kind of passes. And when it does, slowly take your hand away and take in the world around you, and that should help a lot. But you can also use your Guardian system for this purpose as well. Right? And the way this works is, listen, when you move around your play space in your Guardian system, be very careful, especially if you're new. You don't want to injure yourself or damage your equipment, right? But you're going to find that it's a good policy to really just kind of lead with your hands while you're getting comfortable. And when you get up close to the edge of that Guardian system, right, that grid will appear in the air in front of you, right? But you can still touch your thumbsticks, right? So if I walk up to my real world wall right now, I got my hands out, now all of a sudden the grid appears in front of me, and I can move my thumbsticks. I can still turn my avatar around. So what I can do is I can move my avatar around in VR, and I can come over to this display here and line this display up with my real world wall. I take a step back, I see how it looks. I'm thinking, yeah, I feel really connected to the real world. Oh no, I've fallen off the stage. What do? I'm in the audience, right? Now let's say the audience turns hostile. I come up here and try to mess with me. Stick your hands in my face, really just make me dizzy if you can do it. Let's say we got hands going, got punches, that's nice. Wow, this is a good group, this is a nice effort. But you see, I can still see that display behind you, no matter what you do. I mean, because it's huge, really. I can see it right there, little gaps there, you got gaps in your fingers, and you'll notice my sentences aren't breaking. I'm having no problem talking to you guys, because I'm completely comfortable as long as I can see that display. And it doesn't have to be something big like that, right? What you can do here is you'll notice at the edge of the stage here, you can line this up with your real world table or your real world desk or something like that that's in your environment that you can kind of match the position of. And this is going to create like a reality anchor. This is going to connect you to the real world in a way that's going to make you feel more balanced. All right, and that can really help with that if that happens to you. All right, now another thing you can do is you can transition from a room scale experience to a stationary experience pretty effortlessly. Like, let's say I'm like, you know what, this is my second event today and I'm tired. I need to sit down, right? So what I can do is I can, go up to the edge of my Guardian, right? I can stick my head through like that. Well, now they got that new double tap thing that just came out. I don't know if anyone else has tried this yet, but you do that little double tap on the side, right? Tap, tap, and all of a sudden I can see the real world, right? So I got my coffee right here. Take a sip of that. Throw down the mug because I'm right? And then I can look over there and I see I've got my chair over there, right? So I can go out over to my chair, right? And then I turn around and then it's asking if I want to have a stationary experience. So I sit down in the chair, I get comfortable, I line up that circle. And then I press stationary experience and all of a sudden VR comes back into view, right? But I also find that I'm still in Altspace. I never left, right? And this works in the other direction too. It was one time I'm moderating an event, right? And all of a sudden, I felt like getting up and walking around. That's a big deal. So, I get up and I think I'm just going to step into my Guardian as usual. But sometimes on the Quest, your Quest can lose your Guardian, right? Maybe because of, changing light levels. And for one reason or another, it can't figure out what position it's in. So it figures, you can just draw me a new boundary. No big deal. But you know what? When there's 2 minutes left in the event, it's a big deal. So all of a sudden, I start drawing my boundary out. And I'm like, oh no. Why is my play space so big? Of all the days I had to moderate for, an admin Dorian, why did it have to be today? Right? So then I'm going up and as soon as I close that loop, the grid pops up out of the ground, right? And I find that not only am I still in VR, but I'm still in Altspace. I never left, right? And, all anybody sees when you do this, your avatar will be frozen like this because you're having an out of avatar experience, right? My avatar gets frozen like that. I'm like, I always pause there. Right? Make a little dramatic pause there. And one time I actually lost my net connection there, and everybody's in the audience looking up going, look at him. He's so invested in the role. He's so committed. Look at that. He's got range. Right? It was funny. And then my avatar just disappeared. It was okay. It was no big deal. I came back in a minute, and we kept on going. But it was funny that it happened like right in that moment. And whenever I do that bit now, I think of that. All right. So what could happen though is, all anybody sees is you frozen like that. So you can kind of come and go and you can be more comfortable in Altspace. So if, you're dancing around the universe, you get tired, you feel like sitting down, you can totally do that without having to log out. All right, it's pretty awesome. All right, another thing you can do is, and this is not useful, this is just fun, all right, is you can actually, if you go up to the edge of your play space and you stick your head through, like make sure you got room, put your hands out first, right, so you don't want to slam your head into the wall, right? But as soon as you look through there, you're going to find that pass-through camera goes off and you can see the real world, right? But if you do this at just the right speed, right, just do it super slow, right? There's a sweet spot where you're going to see both realities at the same time. It's really cool because you'll Altspace avatars in your home environment. And you don't get a real sense for how tall Altspace avatars are while you're in here. But when you see them like in your living room or in your office or wherever you do your VR from, you're going to notice that avatars in Altspace are about 6 feet tall. They're also a lot wider than you would think too. And the only way to really know that is to see them in a familiar environment. It's actually, it's not real useful, but it's a lot of fun to do. I recommend trying that. Now, the great thing about the Quest is it just works. It doesn't mean it can't work better. There's a lot of different accessories that can really improve, the experience there. You'll notice that, those earbuds that they have that kind of dangle and hang down from the side. Now, I don't know what I look like when I'm in VR, but I like to think, well, I've got these earbuds in. I like to think I look fancy, right? So I got, the earbuds hanging down there and I put them in. And the first time I tried these out, I went to the campfire. And listen, I was really happy with the sound on the Quest, where there's no feedback, the real rich, full experience. And I went into the campfire. And did you guys know there's a breeze in the campfire? Nobody told me this. I went over to the fence there and I heard that water rushing. And I was like, wow, there's a lot of ambient sound in Altspace that makes the experience way more immersive. It's really cool. Definitely worth trying out. Now, listen, a lot of people say that the Quest is uncomfortable. All right. And, I know people who have returned it for this reason. They say it's too top heavy and it hurts my face. You know what? Oculus does not advertise this enough, but there is a breaking in period for your Quest. The oils in your face are actually going to soften the insert. Now, a lot of people will try to get accessories to modify the balance of the device by getting external battery packs, by getting counterweights and things like that. And if you do that too quickly before the device is broken in, as soon as the device is broken in, the weight's going to change and you're going to think, well, the Quest just isn't comfortable. And it simply isn't true. Once it's broken in, once the tension on the springs, once you get used to that, and once the oils in your face soften up that material, right? Once that happens, you're going to find that you don't even feel you wearing it anymore. You're going to feel like these are just your eyes in the same way that these are just your hands, right? And if you should find after a couple of weeks after it's broken in, that's the time to start doing things like this VR cover, which is like, basically it feels like your face in a pillow. It's really nice. They also have things for light block and all this kind of thing. They're really great products. There's another one, I'm trying to remember the name of the company. I just heard about it like last week's Quest time, so when you mentioned it, that there's another company that does these inserts now. And this one has like covers for the headset to protect it. There's a lot of great accessories out there. You also have these prescription inserts that you can get that'll protect your lenses if you wear glasses. And that's good because if you scratch your eyeglasses and your VR headset, that could get pretty expensive. So that's a good way to protect it. And speaking of protecting your device, listen, if something happens to your device, like you leave it on a table out in the sunlight there and sunlight damages your headset, right? It's not like losing your toast, right? If you're in Altspace a lot and you've made friendships in here, right, you're going to experience this as an actual loss. And listen, the box that the Quest came in, it's a great place to store it. But if you're going to travel and move around, something like one of these travel cases here on the bottom, you can't go wrong with that. Now, if you want to try any of these products, they're easy to find. If you go to altvr.com and you go up to where it says channels, you're going to see all these Altspace event channels. And among them, down towards the very bottom, you're going to see Ravenhall Events. It says up in the sound booth. And when you click on that, you get taken to our event page. On the left-hand side, you have all these products listed there if you want to give any of these a try. Also, you have the join Discord button if you want to, hang out with us, ask us questions, stuff like that. And you also have there in the upper right, the most important button on the internet, the subscribe button. And when you press this, it lets Altspace know that you enjoy our content, right? We don't get paid to do this either. So every time that number goes up, it makes us feel good. It's a real nice way to say thank you if you enjoyed yourself here today. And that being said, we are now going to take your questions. So I'm going to make a raise hand button appear in your lower right, as if by magic. Let's see, there we go. So if you have a question or a comment that you'd like to, say, you can press that raise hand button and see a few of you going up there. And we also have, but if while we're waiting for that to fill up, you can find us on Twitter at _ Uncanny Valley. Now, I know that looks like one underscore, but it is actually two. All right, let's see. Who do we have here? We have, let's see, Sewing Dessert. What's up? You have a question or a comment? Where are you? Where are you? Sewing Dessert, where are you? Where'd you go? There you are, in the orange. What's going on?
Is there any way that you can take your headset and your same account and basically transfer the Oculus app onto a different device?
You mean, you mean your Altspace account?
No, I mean like the Oculus account.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you can have more than one headset with your Oculus account. All you want to do is, like, let's say tomorrow they came out with, let's see, they have the Oculus Go, they have the Oculus Quest. Let's say they just come out with the Oculus Journey, right? A brand new headset. Now, what you want to do is you'll go into the Oculus app and you'll tell it, you'll look for what says add new headset. And you click on that and it'll scan if it's close to it, and then you'll pair a new headset, right, onto it. And you'll be using the same Oculus account to do that. All right? So, that should be fairly simple for you to get going.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Likewise, you can unpair the device if you want to do like a factory reset on it. Maybe you want to give your headset away. Like when I was done with my Oculus Go, I gave mine away. And the way I did that was I unpaired the device, and that way it deleted all the files in there. What's going on, King Banana? Keep getting going in his face like that. That's not comfortable. Don't be doing that. Don't be that guy. Don't be that banana. Don't be that banana. All right, let's see. Who else do we have? We also have, King Banana himself. Okay, well, let's see what was so urgent. King Banana, what's going on?
What headset do you use?
What headset do I use? Before I answer your question, I got a question for you. Why were you going in his face like that? That's not cool.
I just messed around.
Messing around? That's not nice to do in VR. You can make them dizzy. You can make them feel not right. The kind of different rules in here. Try not to do that, okay? With the headset I use an Oculus Quest. Have for a while. It's one of the first beta tests in Altspace. All right, so a lot of Quest love. I started out on an Oculus Go. I feel about the Go the way most people feel about their first car. All right, I really love the device, but I also really love the Quest. I'm really, kind of a big fan of Oculus, actually. All right, let's see. We also have, let's see, who else do we have up here? We have Daniel. Daniel, you have a question or a comment? You just disappeared. Oh, there you are. Daniel, where are you? Speak to me, Daniel. You're on the air. Where'd you go? Daniel, speak to me.
First off, you are great. But
really?
what if like someone's mic is messed up for their headset and it's a built-in mic?
Okay. Well, your headset sounds nice and clear, right? But if somebody has a messed up sound on their microphone, a lot of times this can be solved by restarting the device. that can fix things. Also re-entering the space, not even leaving Altspace. If you go into your menu and you go re-enter space, that can clear up microphone issues. But sometimes it's just a damaged microphone. And when that happens, if you can go to the Oculus webpage, you can fill out a support ticket, and they're really great about exchanging equipment. They'll ask you a couple of questions and be like, all right, can't fix it from here, send it in, and then they'll send you a new one, often in times before they even receive your headset. So they're really great about exchanges. So that's a good thing to do. I see I'm a little bit over on time here. So listen, if I didn't answer your question or your comment, normally at the end of our events, we take everybody to the Ravenhall Flight Academy. Today's no different. And the way we do this is we press, you may have noticed, this big red shiny button. Right, we're going to press this button, and when we do, a Ravenhall Talon, which is a hovercraft that you can fly, right, at the Ravenhall Flight Academy, where we teach you how to fly, you can fly these ships around. And you're going to notice one of them flies down the street, right past this window. It's going to go up over those trees in the back, and then it's going to land in that backyard area, just like that. Anybody wants to come up here and help me push the button, you absolutely can. So moderators, don't kick anybody coming for the stage, right? So you just come up on here, right? We're going to push this button on 3. Everybody ready? 1, 2, 3. Push.
Ravenhall Talon aircraft en route to your position.
There it goes, going down the street. Now let's go out in the back and let's meet it. Let's catch it outside. Come on, everybody, hurry up. We're going to go catch it. We're going to catch it. And if you've learned anything here today, please share with those you come in contact with. Let's see, where's the ship? It's coming in now. We're coming down. All right, awesome. Awesome. That's how we keep this thing going, by passing that on. Now the ship's going to land here, right? And it's going to pop out a blue portal. We're going to go into that blue light, and it's going to take us to the academy. And you can fly these things around. Oh, watch out for the turbine.
Talon aircraft is now boarding outside for transport to the Ravenhall Flight Academy. Please exit the building and step into the blue light. Thank you.
Thanks for coming. You've been a great audience. I'll see you next time.